Good.
That's surprising.
Yes, I have not seen Thor yet. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to see it.
Oh man, have you sure I posted this in group me? Yeah, you did. Nice. You're good at this. You're getting better at this, man.
I'm figuring my stuff out. I'm getting there. I'm getting
I need
better.
to watch Thor again. I did watch it with a very, very shitty connection. I cammed it. Not to be confused with your cam, Tim.
Or camming, like, camming.
Or like
On your,
camming. Yeah. It wasn't
you're
like
on your OnlyFans account.
that's people don't need to know about that. All right, I'm running for office.
Actually, well, the whole purpose of OnlyFans is people do knowing about it because that's how you.
Yeah. I got my own little click in there. All right, my little niche.
I would not talk about your little click. That will not get you. That will not get you clicks on your OnlyFans. Hey, there are people
David,
into
people
everything.
Are into things.
There
people
are people into
things.
everything. Yes,
that's right.
That's a true
Don't
story.
you knock my fans? All right.
Yes. Speaking of that, thank you. Welcome back to Last Call. We're talking about Ryan's little click.
Thank you for getting better. And David, thank you for getting better. I'm not sure about what he was giving you a compliment on, but
getting all my links posted between ending the episode and getting on here and getting things posted to Patreon and to group chat and getting it all sent to you guys.
He's got his shit together, man. Great.
Well, obviously, I'm not drunk enough.
I'm just saying, like, it's noticed, and I wanted to give you kudos for it. All right.
I appreciate that. That.
Yeah.
Did you even go to the bathroom on top of all that?
I did not go to the bathroom at all.
I'm sure he's gonna leave us in the middle of this.
Yeah, I'm like 11 minutes away from having to piss, but no,
we're gonna end this in 11 minutes.
That's the weird thing. Is like, when we started doing this whole thing, like I was knocking down like 9 beer during the episode, and I guess maybe it's because I bring the vodka with me. I don't know. I've got one
exactly
empty.
Why?
But like I haven't finished my vodka is up to here, so I've got like 3/4 of it left, and I've drank 1 beer, and I'm halfway done on this other guy here.
You're a little bit more a dad every day.
State of Atlanta has tamed you.
No. Speaking of that, this has nothing. Speaking of that, but you said save on. So my mom gave me an old beat up Ford Explorer. It's like rusted and everything, but it works. She just gave it to us, and I'm thinking about getting the tag. I'm gonna obviously get a Georgia State tag for it, but I'm gonna see if I get a custom tag, like state of ATL, to be the license, the vanity plate.
And put it on a shitty car. Got it.
And put it on a shit. Well, I thought about I was like, doesn't Mako do like those $300 cheap paint jobs? I'm like, I'll pay $300 to get this piece of crap painted like Georgia State blue, and it's like $1,000. Inflation's
with
horrible.
a white stripe down the side.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 now to get a paint job. I'm not sure if I don't think I can justify using Patreon money for that.
You should get a whole car wrap. Just get somebody to design it, somebody cool to design it, and get a State of Atlanta car wrap.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, man. I would do that.
Yeah, follow me to a Georgia State game.
Onlyfans.com, State of Atlanta.
Ooh. I thought about when Ryan suggested the Patreon thing, I was like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. This whole thing was just for fun, whatever. And he's like, people want to give you money. But now, ever since then, I'm kind of like, we should do an OnlyFans to be like the ironic thing about it. Like, since OnlyFans is almost, I guess it's like exclusively just adult content.
Porn. Yeah.
It's not exclusively, no, because they tried to get rid of the adult content, but then they realized like everyone was going to leave and they had to come back. But there's some other stuff in there.
I'd be kind of funny if we had OnlyFans as our subscription service versus.
We might get money
Patreon.
Just because of that.
It could, so we could do something fun.
We take our shirts off before last call starts.
It could just be like pictures of our feet or something, though. I mean, and like seriously, like you'd find some people that are into that sort of thing, and like
I know the foot thing is a big thing. There is either no one in the world that would enjoy seeing pictures of my feet, or if they did, they need to be on a list because there's something wrong with them. Like my feet are.
So apparently,
my feet
apparently, the part of your brain. What
in biblical days, my feet would have got me sent to the leper colony. Like that's the soles of my feet are.
You're like a hobbit.
Rough. Oh no, yeah, no. I would beg for hobbit feet, and I have the hobbit hair on the feet. It's the soles of the feet that just look like it's just like I'm rotting.
Barefoot.
I'm rotting soul up, and it just hasn't gotten above the toes yet.
You know what? Somebody is into that too.
Yeah,
we'll post some David feet, and we'll get like 10 more OnlyFans.
We'll do two episodes. One with feet only, and then one we'll just take our shirts off. And we'll wake up in a month and be like $5,000.
Yeah, just pictures. You know what? Close-ups of our tits, because I got some.
David really loves what we're talking about right now.
Oh, he cut out. Oh no.
So we nominate David to be on OnlyFans, and we'll just watch him. Oh, he's back.
I don't know what's wrong with my internet.
Your internet sucks, man. You're actually really grainy tonight, actually.
Oh, really?
It is a little.
I probably should reboot my computer more often than I do. So, well, I got my new work computer came to me, but I'm trying to avoid using it. So once I start using that one, I'm going to kind of just wipe this one completely and start fresh with it, and then make it my just
favorite laptop.
My personal computer just for this, even though it isn't technically a work laptop, but they didn't ask for my old Mac back, so I still have that one. So whatever.
You're collecting.
Apparently so.
So what other news did you have for us that we skipped?
It wasn't really news. There was an article on the Daily New Record online. It was just some guy writing about Sunbelt expansion, which is a topic of mine that I love, or just realignment in general. And he was like saying expansion makes sense for the Sunbelt going beyond the 14 teams if it's the right circumstances. I thought it was kind of an interesting article, but what it really came down to was convincing an AAC team to come to the Sun Belt is really the last item is Conference USA leftovers, but he pretty much talks about that as being just, a no-go. So he's talking about like the East Carolina was number one. East Carolina was like his number one. If you can get East Carolina to come.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then followed by Memphis, and he established that getting Memphis is a complete long shot. It's just best case scenario.
Yeah, I think the city of Memphis. You know my opinions about the city of Memphis. I'm not very excited about that, but the program of Memphis would be really great.
But you got a program that they thought they were about to be in the Big 12, and now now they're preparing to be that next edition of the Big 12, which could be completely thrown away based off what's happening out on the West Coast right now.
Yep.
So getting Memphis to join the Sun Belt, and which would legitimately be in their fans' eyes a step down from what their expectations were, just being highly unlikely, but saying that Memphis and East Carolina is best case scenario, adding an East and a West team. And I agree that pretty much then it's like UAB, San Antonio, Charlotte, and these are all teams where like kind of like they made the right move to go to the American when they made that move. But and if the American money ever falters, then Sunbelt makes sense for them. But right now they're in the right spot. And then Tulane was one more they said, and that was mostly because of the headquarters being in New Orleans.
No thanks.
No.
Yeah, that's not a good reason. I don't like it.
The thing is they don't do very much. They don't move the meter. Like nobody. I've not met anyone that says they're a Tulane fan except for Ron Hunter. But like that's it. I mean, that's the only reason I've heard of Tulane in the last like 2
and
decades.
I've met Ron Hunter's wife.
But really, for like the last 2 decades, the only reason I've heard of Tulane was because of Ron Hunter, and that's it. I mean, before that, it was the NCAA video game, which nobody was talking about it. I just happened to see it there. I mean, I was in New Orleans during Mardi Gras one year, and I ended up like on the frat row in Tulane, and I drank beer out of the side of a truck that was free. So
free is always good, right?
Oh, not always.
Like, I forget which it was either Miller Lite or Bud Light. One of those trucks just pulled up and they just had taps on the side, and they just kind of drove down the street of like whatever that Greek row is of the houses in Tulane.
It's like the ice cream truck, right?
There were no IDs being checked. It was New Orleans. It was just walk up and just start filling up the cups they had, filling up the empty can of beer you had, filling up whatever cup you had. It was just pouring beer in this beer thing, which at the time was great. That was my first trip to New Orleans.
Yeah. No. Don't do that.
Did it ruin you for the rest of the time?
I was fine then. It was my second trip where I got peed on. That spoiler alert, not a fan of being peed on, and unlike
I don't
Ryan,
think I've ever heard this story, and it is illuminating.
Oh no, it's
where did this happen, David?
On my way to Bourbon Street, just like walking through the Fat Tuesday crowd and all that kind of crap, and the people on those balconies. Those balconies are the hot spot to have, especially if you can get one on Bourbon Street where the floats go down and everything. But yeah, walking by and I got something on me. I look up and there's just a dude with his ween row out, just pissing in the crowd. So
and on you.
What an unwilling victim.
Did that shit city start tarnishing your view of New Orleans and Louisiana?
That was it. That was the start and the end.
Yeah, everything since then has just been adding on. Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, I was pretty drunk and I thought it was disgusting and gross and moved on with my night and, everything. But yeah, just from that point on, nothing was really, and it's just like overdone. It's just whatever. New Orleans sucks.
When I was there, it started raining and like shit was coming off the window, like the tops of the buildings. I was going around Bourbon Street, like kind of near there. And I was like, man, what is actually coming off of those buildings onto me? Like what is this? And then
I think you answered part of your question.
What?
I think you answered part of your question.
I was gonna say now that I hear David's story, like I had a right to feel a little, what is this?
It's pretty gross there. And then
what was coming on you?
I guess the next thing I remember that to actually really make me think differently about New Orleans was I ended up going back. Some friends and I just we all took a week off work. We did kind of a loop around the Southeast. We just drove from Atlanta down to like the Panhandle of Florida, over to Louisiana, up through Arkansas, through Tennessee, and just came back. Took a week just visiting some different people's family and seeing different stuff. Anyhow, I made my one and only trip to the French Quarter during the height of summer during the day.
Ooh, it's hot and stink festival.
It's hot, it's humid, and it smells like the inside of a men's locker room after a game that wasn't cleaned.
With a bunch of vomit and shit everywhere.
You just the smell of urine. There was a smell of urine. Just walking down the streets, and there's these nice little cafes where you get your little beignets, your Cajun food, and all that kind of stuff. And they were nice. It was good. And I ate well. Right to Ryan's point, there's good food at the in New Orleans.
But like part of your taste is in your nose, and you could not shake the urine.
Exactly.
Good urine smell.
And you had already been peed on at this point, right?
Yeah, years previously, but yes.
So you were just like, man, this place is.
This could be the same pee. This could be the exact same pee that was on me. It could be the pee that I'm smelling right now.
Just fermented over the years.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Who knows how often that guy pees and on.
I never want to go back.
I have zero interest in going back. I'm sure there'll be something in my life that makes me go back there, but I can't imagine what it is, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I mean, I told you guys the very first thing that happened to me there was seeing some homeless guy fucking like a hooker or something on the street. Like literally, like our mega bus was pulling into the bus.
Okay, you're that story.
How can you afford a hooker but you can't afford a place to stay at night, dude? Come on.
I don't know if it was a hooker, but like she looked kind of like a hooker, and
he was handing her money during the whole process.
Well, no, they were like doing it on the street. She ran off once she realized we were there, and he just started waving at us with his like ginormous dong hanging out. Just huge.
What is with why? Well, I guess that's why you get naked in public. I was like, what is it with people that are like naked dudes in public that have the big dongs? Because because they've got nothing to be ashamed of. They
don't give a shit. Yeah, they're just like, yeah, we don't know nothing about that.
Yeah,
they're just like
5'9" and a half and white. I got nothing to be proud of. But I drove past
size 9.5 shoe.
I buy 10s just to make myself feel better. True story. I drove past the MARTA station by my house. This is several months ago, maybe a year or two ago, and there was there's a dude who is obviously mentally not aware of his surroundings, what he was doing. It's an older guy, gray beard, gray pube, completely buck-ass naked, just standing at the corner at the MARTA station. And I was like, this crazy dude is hung. Like, da-dong. I'm like, damn it.
He's just waiting on the bus, man.
He's waving it down.
Don't fuss at him.
No, when I pulled in at New Orleans, he had her bent over, was going at it, and then all the phone cameras went up in the megabus, and as soon as she saw it, she just ran. She just boom, and I'm like, well, welcome to New Orleans.
My husband can't catch me with Randy again.
We're here. Yeah, we're here now. I mean, he was clearly a homeless dude.
So it's funny you say,
she was clearly fucking a homeless dude.
I was talking to somebody over the weekend, I forget who it was, about Scotland. How when I went to Scotland, how just gorgeous Scotland is. And you get off the plane, I flew to Edinburgh, and you get off the plane, and I got the shuttle to take you to like Edinburgh proper, and you leave the airport in this little shuttle bus. You leave a shuttle bus from Atlanta airport, and you're just like on highways, or maybe you see some garbage or whatever it is, or like if you're in LA, you leave LAX, you just like turn into like downtown LA or whatever. Oh. But there's a little shuttle bus leaving the Edinburgh airport. There's like a little cottage and this little tiny little fence with these little goats out there just grazing and stuff. I'm like, this is like so Braveheart, picturesque, whatever. That's what you expect going into into Edinburgh or Scotland. And so, Ryan, you got the exact same experience going into New Orleans. Your mega bus pulls through there. You see a homeless dude nailing a hooker. It's exactly what you expect out of that environment.
Just like a quaint little Edinburgh cottage.
Just be lucky you didn't see a goat in New Orleans.
That's
whoa! Is the Trash Down South playing this week?
Oh,
womp
womp.
Man, we spent a lot of time on New Orleans.
We did. Fuck that place.
Yeah, I know you shouldn't give places you hate credit, but I will give them credit for me hating them. So,
giving them quite a bit. And there's that other shithole in New Orleans, the Superdome.
Yeah, how many other NFL stadiums can take credit for the number of homicides and rapes that the Superdome can take credit for? That is like got to be a record.
Like in it?
Oh yeah, lots of murders, and lots of rapes that have gone on inside of there.
Oh, it's weird.
Most of it because of Katrina evacuation stuff, but either way.
Yeah, just a bunch of piling as many people as possible in there.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, have you guys been inside of the Superdome?
It's a shithole.
Oh my god!
I saw it on video on fire.
It's done that too. It's too bad it didn't burn down.
Yeah, it's like what could have been.
Well, they would have invested in a nice new facility then, and we would have less to make fun of them for, unless they fucked that up. Which
before Katrina, so this is going to sound horrible because I mean it to be that way. Katrina did two things poorly. One, it did not completely obliterate the city of New Orleans and everybody that lives there and all Saints fans.
Well, that last thing didn't have to be. I mean, the middle thing didn't have to be there.
But also, the Saints were about to get relocated.
I know
out of Louisiana. They were going to go. I think the front runner was Oklahoma City. The Saints were going to move to Oklahoma City and probably lose the moniker of Saints because it's not like you're moving to Utah or something. You're going to keep the name Saints. Not that it made a lot of sense in New Orleans either.
Utah Jazz.
But when they went to when Katrina hit and pretty much destroyed, like Superdome was getting all of its rapes and homicides going on there, they had to relocate the Saints games. They went to Oklahoma City, but the fans just got like crazy about them. And that's not when Drew Brees started with him, was it?
I don't know.
I don't think so. No. He was already playing. He's already playing.
That's way too long ago. But either way, had Katrina never happened, the New Orleans Saints would be gone. This day would not be a franchise.
Yeah.
And the world would be a better place.
And the world would be potentially a better place. I don't know.
And the streets of Atlanta would have fewer chicken bones.
Also, and fewer homicides. Both in after Katrina, homicide rate in Atlanta and Houston went up by 3,000%.
How Houston's like 6 hours or something. We're like 9 hours, right? Something like that.
Yeah, we're I guess the two biggest cities between.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're close. We're close, and we're oddly similar in a lot of ways.
Houston and Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been to Houston, but anybody I know that's been there has said they hated it.
Really? It is shit. It's so shitty.
Well, one exception. I've one set of friends of mine. They've since moved away from Houston. They liked it, but I think they liked it because they moved there with little kids, and their kids got into like the Texans when Matt Schaub was there, and they were good, and they had a little something to go with it, whatever. But now they live in Charlotte, and
somebody got into Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub was a fantasy football killer when he got that contract with Houston. He was awesome. He may not won a lot of games, but he put up points like crazy.
Yeah, but like, got into like I don't know. He's just never done anything for me. He's never like sparked a thing.
He made a fuck ton of my friend. You know my friend Terry. She we went to Falcons. We went to Falcons training camp together several years ago, and pre-pandemic years. And they were doing the little autographs afterwards, and Matt Schaub came over to sign stuff, whatever. And Terry flat out tells him, "I hope we don't see you this year."
Wow,
like, Terry.
Oh, he was back up.
Schaub was like, "No, dude, I get it. I mean, he made so much money with Houston. I think he got like some $100 million contract or something going from backup of the Falcons to starting quarterback there. So he had his I think he got a renewal while he was there. Then he came back to Atlanta and for like 5 or 6 years was getting paid $2 million
to ride the bench. Well, to practice.
Oh yeah, to practice, prepare, be ready in that position, and
just
everything.
In case. Right.
Well, no, and honestly, to practice against. Like to play in practice to make sure the other players are playing well, right? You need more than one quarterback in practice. Like to practice, to be a good quarterback.
Oh no, he did his job and he was ready. And when he came in those times he needed to, he did his thing. I don't think he ever won a game. I don't think Schaub ever is credited with a win for the Falcons. I could be wrong.
Probably not.
I could be completely wrong on that, but I think it's a true story.
Well, Matt Ryan's been pretty healthy though, so.
Yeah, he didn't miss too many games.
Yeah, through his whole career. I mean, he's been pretty healthy.
Go Colts.
I mean, at least for a year, right? I mean, you got to root for somebody who might win.
Yeah. And if he plays for 2 years, the Colts play in Atlanta next year.
Nice.
Oh my gosh!
Are you gonna wear Colts gear? Are you gonna wear?
I wear my Matt.
I want to go to that. I want to go to that game.
I wear my Matt Ryan jersey. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, man. All the I'm not super into baseball, but all that Freddie Freeman when the Dodgers came to town, all that stuff, that got me, man. That was a lot. That felt.
Did you hear the fallout from that as well?
The fallout.
Got rid of his.
That the last offer came. That he fired his representation. Yeah.
Yeah. His rep is like, I want the more money because I get paid.
Didn't tell him how. I mean, Jesus, like that, and so publicly for all that to happen. Like, I wonder how many of their athletes they lost that month.
But that agent was like, he did the math. He's like, profit margin if he goes here, profit. Yeah,
he knew he was
there. So, I wanted him to go there.
Yep.
That agent's now suing a sports talk show host in Atlanta for lying, that he's the agent saying that never happened and that this guy said it happened and whatever. So
I'm pretty sure Freddie Freeman said it happened. So
yeah.
Well, about that, but I'm assuming that it came because it came back when all this happened when Freddie came back to Atlanta, and I'm thinking he was talking to local sports guys here, and they're like, "Hey, they offered, or why didn't you take this deal?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "We don't like this was the deal the Braves were offering," and he's like, "I never heard about that."
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yep. Still messed up, but apparently every time he came up, he got
he He played
standing ovation throughout the stadium over multiple nights, and I mean that's huge, man. That's just cool. That's just I don't know.
Can we get him back?
Like, the human condition that is like soup. That's just really cool.
I want to get him back. I mean, how about that?
On a 1-day contract. I mean, that's about what you're going to get. He's going to play the next 2 or 3 years in LA, and then but I mean, obviously that number gets retired. He'll get his flag, his pennant, his number, whatever you want to call it, his jersey, hung up inside the Truist Park. So, yeah.
But so I don't know a lot about baseball, but what I was hearing about it was like if he ever goes into the Hall of Fame, he doesn't get to pick the team because there were apparently teams that were paying players to pick them to be their Hall of Fame version. And so they stopped allowing players to like pick their team to be like Hall of Famed.
So is it the last team or the first team?
That they pick it. I don't know.
So unless the Dodgers go on to win the next 3 World Series with Freddie Freeman, with Freddie Freeman being an integral part of that, I cannot imagine anybody picking Freddie to go in as anything other than a Brave.
But it could, right? The Dodgers could actually just have a phenomenal run with what they've got. I mean, they've been a solid team throughohout, and like that.
We had to beat them. We had to beat them to get to the World Series.
That's right. And they've got that pitcher, right? What's his fucking name? K.
The dickhead dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They got a good pitcher, I think, right?
Sure. They have a stable of pitchers. Yes.
At least one good one.
You cannot have a great baseball team without having like solid pitching.
Well, you know.
I mean, unless you're putting up 13, 14 runs every single game.
Well, I mean, Georgia State does that sometimes.
But college baseball is a different beast.
I know. No, all other baseball is a different beast.
Although I saw that there was one thing I was going to kind of bring up. I didn't put notes down for it, but there's a potential rule changes to college baseball. It looks like they're wanting to add that stupid extra innings runner on second base.
What's that?
I didn't like that. No.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you go to extra innings, the batting team gets their last runner on second base to start the inning. It's a way to help,
it's like to speed it up,
the game up, right?
Speed it up.
It's not sudden death though, right? It's still like just do what you can.
You can't really have sudden death in baseball,
right? Well, you could.
It'd be very unfair.
Well, it's unfair in football, so
no, because in football, at least the defense has the ability to score. Like, there's no way for the defense to score in the top of the inning in baseball.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, it's still. I mean, the defense has way less ability to score. It's less. It's not fair. Yeah, that's stupid in professional sports.
But they have so the defense has the ability to stop them from scoring and the ability to score themselves. Where in baseball, all you have the ability to do is to stop them from scoring. That's all you have.
Right. It's dumb.
Yeah. And then like you can have like an unassisted score because you hit a home run in extra innings. That the game just ends. Like I feel it didn't even have a chance to make a play on the ball because it was just knocked out of the park. It's like saying if I throw the ball through the uprights, then it doesn't matter what happens. So, We done?
What other topics you got?
I think it sounds like we might be good. Do we need to talk about Disney or do we need to talk about smoked meats? I smoked pork tenderloin over the weekend.
I did some fucking fantastic steaks over the weekend.
Yeah, nice. Like some ribeyes.
No, when I went to the
they were fantastic.
When I went to my my awesome butcher who loves me, they had 2 solid ribeyes. I was buying 3 steaks. They had 2 solid ribeyes. They had a couple of good fillets, but I needed 3, and the best they had of 3s was a strip. Which I know strip's not great, but I fucking cooked the shit out of that fucking strip.
And did you smoke it or did you just grill it?
No, I did the sear method. I seared the fuck out of it and then tossed it in the indirect side to finish it off. But it came out good. It was a good red center to it. I say red, a very good pink center to it, juicy pink center to it, and just a very good
blue.
a good char on the outside. It came out well. They all three of them came out very.
Cool.
Kim's was a little bit more done. Somehow hers just flattened. Like they were all relatively the same size, but when they came out, it kind of deflated. I don't know. I've never seen that happen before. They weren't all the exact same size, but they were all pretty thick. And hers went in about a good inch and a quarter. It came out about a half inch. It's like it just dropped down.
Laurie was out of town, so I did a pork tenderloin because pork doesn't happen in our house very often. And I used to make those all the time. Just pop them in the oven, like season them, pop them in the oven, whatever. It's like $5 for just a huge piece of meat,
a log of pork.
So I smoked it though, and it was fucking good. Oh my God, I miss it. I was like, man, this is
pork handles smoke so well.
Oh, it was so good. I made a thing of mac and cheese, like just Kraft mac and cheese, and sliced it up and put it on top of it. It was so good.
Oh, so it's like fancy beanie weenies, or not beanie weenies.
Yes, I did the fanciest like pork and mac and cheese you could do.
That's pretty expensive pork and mac.
I mean, like a lot of people do the sliced up hot dogs, right? I did sliced up like pork tenderloin, smoked pork tenderloin. It was
you should have used some smoked cheese in the mac.
That's next time I'll take that powder and just like put it in there with it.
mix it into your rub for the pork.
I could do the butter. Maybe I could smoke the butter.
Don't do that. That sounds horrible. Don't do that at all.
Smoked butter? That doesn't sound bad at all.
No, I meant using the cheese packet for the pork.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds really bad. Yeah, no, I did use like this rub that's a little spicy, and I was making it for also Izzy, my 6-year-old, and she was like, "I'm not eating this. This is too spicy." I'm like, I probably did add a little too much, but I was pretty heavy-handed with it, so
that works. All right, guys, I got a piece. We're gonna call it quits.
Me too. 30 minutes. We had a good last call. We're making it worth your while.
There you go.
All the smoke meat you can handle.
We'll talk to you next week coming out of Media Day. We didn't mention that on the episode, but it'll be Media Day next Tuesday. So we'll have some coach speak to talk about.
Yeah, it's not exciting. I don't know, man. I should do a better job. It's going to be great.
Coach speak. Who doesn't love that?
Episode title next week, Coach speak. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.